Hey guys, this is Axel from Pedal Electric Tech Support. Today we're going to go over some basic maintenance items for your pedal electric e-bike, either on the all-wheel drive or the core model. The first major tip is going to be to clean your bike. We want to prevent any dirt buildup around our components, so we're going to clean the frame, the drivetrain, the wheels, and make sure you keep this thing spot clean. Another tip to maintain your derailleur maintenance is to also use compressed air. You can do this with like a can of air duster, or if you have a compressor with a nozzle, and basically spraying out anything that can move in here to get the dust, dirt, and debris out. You'll want to maintain and regularly check your air pressure. Keep it between 25 and 30 psi. 30 is more optimal. You'll wear down your tires and potential for flats, and it'll also degrade the power that you have to the pavement. So we're sitting right about 22 psi here, and we're going to go ahead and add some more air into our tire. It is very important to go over the critical fasteners on your bike. So in order to do this, you're gonna need a 21mm wrench. This is to check your axle nuts. You're gonna need a T25 Torx. It can be a T-handle or it can be on a socket. This is gonna check your brake rotor screws. This is going to be an 8mm Allen. This is for your crank arm screws. 5mm Allen would be multiple screws on your pedal electric. 4mm Allen, 8mm wrench, and a 10mm wrench. Generally, the way that I like to start checking the torque of the fasteners, I like to start from the rear of the bike, and we're gonna move our way through the bike. So we'll start with the rear axle nut. Make sure this is tight. With your 5mm, you're gonna make sure that your derailleur mounting point is tight. We're always gonna try to turn it clockwise, not counterclockwise. With your 5mm and also your 10mm wrench, we're gonna check the tightness of our foot pegs. As you can see, we're a little loose there. Also loose there. So make sure that these are nice and tight. With our 8mm, we're gonna check our crank arm bolt. Nice and tight there. And we'll continue on to move to the front. With our 21mm again, we're gonna check the front axle nut. With our 5mm Allen, we're gonna check our triple tree, make sure that these are tight. When you're checking the tightness of your handlebar clamps, you're gonna wanna go crisscross in an X pattern. Working our way around the bike, we're gonna come over to this side and we're gonna go ahead and tighten down our axle nut here with the 21mm. Nice and tight, so that's good and safe. With our 5mm, we're gonna go ahead and check the torqueness on our mounting bolts for the brake caliper. With your T25 Torx, you're gonna wanna go through your brake rotor screws and periodically you wanna make sure that these are tight. Kickstand on this side. Make sure they're good and tight with your 5mm. You're gonna wanna check over your mounting screws for your suspension on the bottom and the top. We do our left side crank arm now. Lastly, we're gonna check our front axle nut and our two 5mm mounting screws for the brakes. Now, while you're up here, you also want to check your brake pad thickness. If you look from the top in, you can see a small tip. You can't see it on this bike because it's brand new. But when your brake pads start to wear, what will happen is the brake dust will actually start accumulating on the outside of your brake caliper here. So generally, like when I'm doing services, I like to, every time that I replace brake pad set, make sure that this is cleaned and maintained. Because if I see that there's a lot of dust built up around the brake caliper, it generally means that maybe it's time to change your brakes. The most basic maintenance that you're going to want to do on your battery is you want to remove it periodically, and you want to check the terminals. If those start gaining any kind of corrosion or salt water or any kind of dust, fine particles, you can burn out your connectors in here, and then you're going to have connectivity issues with the bike not turning on. So I'm going to show you how to check that and how to prevent that. Make sure that the battery is turned in the off position, and you'll know that it's off when you hit your BMS button here and you don't see any lights. We can go ahead and unlock our battery and remove. You're going to want to inspect the pins here, and every once in a while you want to briefly blow some air in here, compressed air or computer cleaner. If you get any kind of buildup from salt, dirt, you can start to break down these pins, and that'll cause a connectivity issue. Now that we've cleaned all the pins, we can go ahead and reinstall our battery here. Again, anytime you're installing or removing your battery, you want to make sure that the battery is in the off position. And then we can go ahead and slide the battery back in and lock our keys. This concludes a brief explanation of some maintenance items that you might want to check over periodically. Just like a car or any kind of vehicle, you're going to want to go through your bike every other ride, probably every 200 miles, 100 miles, just to make sure that the bike is safe. Periodically inspecting your bike is very important. However, more importantly is to seek out professional guidance from somebody who knows what they're doing on their bikes, as a technician or a bike shop in your area. If you've watched this video and you still have any other questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and hit the link below and get directly in contact with our tech department here at Pedal Electric.